Now we'll look at surface area for cones and pyramids. In this section, we need something called slant height, which is the height of the lateral surface of a cone or a pyramid. So it's not the top to bottom height, straight up and down. It is the height from the tip to the base of one of the triangles. That's why it's called slanted. It's slanted along the shape. It is a slant height. When we do surface area, we have to have regular pyramids or right cones. A regular pyramid just means it's going to have an equilateral triangle or a square for the base. And every cone we're looking at right now is a right cone. We don't need to worry about that. So formula for surface area is the area of the base plus half of the perimeter of the base times the slant height. That's true for a right cone as well. It's just because a cone has a circle for a base, I can give you a very specific formula of pi r squared plus pi rl. So find the surface area. Okay, so surface area boils down to area of the base plus 1/2 perimeter of the base slant height. So, on the square pyramid on the left here, the area of the base is 25 squared. Because each side of the square is 25, area is length times width, so 25 times 25 is 625. The perimeter is 4 times 25, 4 sides of 25, that's 100. So when I plug into my formula, the area of the base is 625. 1/2 comes in, the perimeter is 100, and the slant height is that 32. And you can see what I meant when I said it was slanted. So now we've got 625 plus 1/2. Nope, sorry, we're going to multiply that out. Plus, so half of 32 is 16. 16 times 100 is 1600. And all I got to do is add these two guys up now. That's 2,225 square feet. For a cylinder, it's a very specific formula of pi r squared plus pi rl. Let me double check that, make sure I'm not crazy. Yes, pi r squared plus pi rl. So this is even easier. The radius is 4. And the slant height is 5. 4 squared is 16, so I've got 16 pi plus 4 times 5 is 20 pi. That means my answers are 36 pi and 36 times 3.14 is 113.0 centimeters squared. Yes, you have to put the 0.0 here because we're rounding the answer. It's 113.04. The 4 tells me to keep the 0. By putting the 0.0, I'm showing that I've actually rounded the answer. If you just put 113 and nothing, I'm going to assume the answer is truly 113, and you didn't round to get it. So we have to put the 0.0 on to show that we rounded. Oh look, a cone has a diameter of 8 and a slant height of 5. Explain whether doubling the slant height has the same effect as doubling the radius. Okay, diameter of 8, so that means radius is 4, height is 5. Looks like we're doing 3 surface areas again. The original is pi r squared plus pi r l. And I apologize, that's not h, that's l. L is 5. You may notice we just did pi 4 squared plus pi 4 times 5. This is 36 pi. I just described the original cylinder slightly differently. Let's check what happens when I do 2 times the radius. And this is how we're explaining, we're showing all the work. So when I double the radius, 4 becomes 8. Eight squared is 64. 8 times 5 is 40. When I combine those, I've got 104 pi. What we're being asked to check here is, does doubling the radius, what we just did, have the same effect as doubling the height? So we're saying, okay, am I going to get 104 pi again when this time the radius goes back to 4, but the height gets doubled up to 10? So let's see. This is 16 pi. 4 times 10 is 40. 40 and 16 is 56 pi. So does doubling the slant height have the same effect as doubling the radius? No. How do we explain that? You've done it by showing all of this work. This work is your explanation.